So, Roger Moorhouse, this is for lovers of the Battle of Britain. Everybody loves the Battle of Britain.
Everybody.
But we love
Yes.
it. We kind of think of it from the perspective of plucky Spitfires, etc. You're recommending a book that has a completely different...
Flips that all the way around. This is Eagle Days by Victoria Taylor. And I have a suspicion, I think this book was Victoria's PhD. Certainly, you know, it has that depth of research to it. Not many PhDs, to be fair, translate into good history books, but this one really does. Really, really nicely done, well written, lots of original material. And what she does that's most novel about it is to flip that, you know, traditional perspective on the Battle of Britain and the Blitz, incidentally, because it is, in the German strategic mind, it is one campaign, effectively, both the Battle of Britain and the later Blitz. So she treats that as a whole, and she treats it from a German perspective. So she tells it from their view, you know, what those airmen thought they were doing, you know, their attitude to the war, their attitude to the enemy, their attitude to, you know, the cause that they're fighting for, and all of that stuff. So it shows us, it brings back the nuance. I'm always one of my sort of mantras, I suppose, is that as historians we have to embrace the nuance. You know, we can't, because to a large extent you are a simplifier, you're a sort of a wrangler of facts that you create a narrative out of it, and you wrangle your facts accordingly. But at the same time, you know, oversimplification is obviously a bad thing. And I think very often these moments, like, for example, the Battle of Britain, it's because it's so resolutely part of, you know, our national narrative. Myth. Yeah, it is a national myth. And I think we struggle to sort of see beyond that and see a different perspective on it. It's sort of almost jarring for us.
Now, you wrestled in the writing of Woolpack, which does something similar.
Woolpack.
Yeah, you're excellent.
My Emmerdale themed.
The sheep you have known and loved.
Yes, exactly. Wolfpack.
So when you wrote Wolfpack, you had to wrestle with the fact that by telling the stories of these men, you're in danger of over empathizing or kind of giving them too much leeway because, you know, they're Nazis.
Yeah.
And does Victoria Taylor, does she grapple with that as well? I mean, does she explicitly grapple with it, or is it just implicit in how she handles it?
She handles it very well. I mean, I think the question of that sort of looming empathy perhaps is less obvious, I think, because for various reasons which she explains, the Luftwaffe is more Nazified than probably most other branches of German service.
Really?
Partly because of its sort of novelty, and it's, you know, as a newly established service, it doesn't have the sort of depth of tradition, for example, that the Navy has, which kind of offset that.
Oh, I see.
Those newer political traditions, if you like, or newer impulses. So it is quite Nazified to some extent, but then there is still nuance within it, and she does tell that, but it does come across that it is more inherently Nazi than not, which is interesting. I mean, that again is quite revelatory, because I think one of the lazy assumptions of the conventional narrative is this view of the, you know, the sort of chivalry of the, you know, the Knights of the Air and all that sort of thing in the air war, and the way she describes it, it's much more brutal than that.
Yeah,
it really is, and you know, there's very often no quarter taken, no quarter given.
You're getting up there and trying to shoot them in the back before they see you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really welcome flip of the perspective, you know, embracing all of that nuance, as I say, and really, really solidly done, really well done. Lots of first-hand material, lots of archival stuff. Proper history book, really beautifully done.
Brilliant. So that's Eagle Days by Victoria Taylor.
Indeed, for lovers of the Battle of Britain.